Hello and welcome to a view from the South Stand. I've got Marc with me today, and it's just finished Brighton nil Spurs 2 at the Amex Stadium. Marc, let's get into this one. When you saw the starting lineup today, was it much of what you expected, and was you expecting a reaction after Saturday?
Uh, yeah, I was. But I thought Saturday was a game where we were. I don't know. I thought there wasn't a better team. I thought, obviously, United won by obviously having one of the greatest players to ever play football in their squad. Do you know what I mean? Their team. I thought I was quite surprised to see Son on the team sheet tonight because he's just not been at it for quite a while now, and yeah, I would like to have maybe seen Lucas instead of him tonight. Maybe just give him a rest. But yeah, no, going with an unchanged team, I think Conte might think that is his strongest 11, so he's going to play it every time he can. So yeah.
And after Kane and Kulu missed those chances in the first half, and we luckily got the first goal, were you sitting there as a Spurs fan going, "We're going to regret this," or were you still quietly confident because the form of Brighton had been on?
Yeah, but then that's what Tottenham do, don't they? They go to teams who are out of form and we give them the 3 points. We've done it quite a lot this season already. If you trying to think of the teams we've played like that who have been out of form and beat us. I mean, United weren't really out of form. United are still going to be knocking around fourth or fifth, maybe sixth. But yeah, we normally go to teams. I thought, do you know what? I was quietly confident tonight. I did say I've got like a little group chat. I did say that we'd win 2-0 and Cooley will score first. Obviously, the goal got given to Romero. But
Close.
no, look, win, draw, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. It's got to change. And obviously, we're going to West Ham Sunday. They've got a few injuries. And yeah, we needed the 3 points tonight. And I'm glad for Harry to break the record for the most away goals in the Premier League. And yeah, I was quite overall quite pleased with that performance tonight.
Bentancur and Højbjerg seem to be striking up a little partnership in the midfield. Yes, they wasn't great on Saturday, but they wasn't bad either. What are you making? Højbjerg seems to be changing. Turning a corner now. He's playing next to Bentancur. What are you
Yeah,
making of those two at the moment?
yeah, no, I do think that Bentancur's bringing out the best in Højbjerg. Although for me, Bentancur's kind of throwing an 8 out of 10 and a 3 or 4 out of 10. I thought he was poor Saturday. I thought Højbjerg wasn't bad Saturday. I kind of thought that he was better, much better tonight. But Højbjerg's going either really hot, really cold. There's no in between. He just needs a consistency, and maybe it might be that Conte was changing the partners between Højbjerg, Skip, Winks. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't really settled, but now Bentancur comes in. I think Bentancur being a more disciplined player gives Højbjerg kind of the freedom because if you think about it, Højbjerg probably took on a bit too much responsibility playing along. I know Skip's brilliant and but he's still young. He's still a bit raw, and Winks headless chicken. So I kind of think that with Bentancur is a good player. Yeah, I was very pleased with Højbjerg tonight. Really, like genuinely, Bentancur was good tonight, but he was poor Saturday. Really good against Everton, but then he was poor before that. So it's just one of them things. I'm really concerned about the form Son's on, because it's a crucial part of the season now. And if we're going to actually push for that top four and nick points, where we might be like second favourites, we need Son on his game, but. Luckily, Harry Kane's doing the job quite well on his own.
We'll go into Son in a minute. I just wanted to quickly ask about the fullbacks. Now, we saw 3 out of 4 of them play tonight. Is it an area that we need to, considering where Brighton are off form, do you think the fullbacks had a good game tonight? Or do you feel like actually looking at tonight's game, this was the best time to see if they could probably nail down a place for next season or do we need
Well,
to address it?
it's a hard one. It is a very hard one because you're judging players based on well, not a lot of game time. I mean, Doherty, since the Leicester game, he's come in and he's actually shown quite a good, quite a good level. I think he got given the opportunity against with Mourinho last season, Doherty, but then he got sent off at home against Leeds, and Mourinho just didn't trust him. Reguilon, I think if Sessegnon's fit, Sessegnon starts over him, only because when Reguilon had the illness and the injury, Sessegnon kind of like stepped up. But look, it is a point where we might want to strengthen, and we probably will strengthen. But then again, I do think that Doherty and probably Reguilon, I don't know who he might end up going back to Madrid, Reguilon, but I do think maybe Sessegnon might. They'll be good backup players for the squad. They'll be good squad players. So I'm not too sure. I mean, the last 10 games is going to tell, 8 games or 10 games is going to tell. But look, Conte's been out and he's been quite vocal recently about his role at the club and how it's going to be next season. So the club kind of need to kind of follow his ideas. And I'm not really too sure what he thinks about our fullbacks, to be honest, because he seems to be quite firm on Doherty's place right now. Before Doherty, it was Emerson. So it's quite a weird one because Emerson done all right. He had that little run. He scored in the FA Cup and I think he got an assist against Palace. Do you remember for Lucas Moura's header?
Yeah.
And then he just went to shit. And sorry for my swearing. He obviously against Southampton when we lost 3-2, he was at fault for quite a lot of bad that happened that night against Wolves. So I don't know. I really don't know. I kind of think that Conte's got. I reckon, if I'm being honest, I think Lloris, Romero, Dyer, Bentancur, maybe Højbjerg, Son and Kane, and Kulu are the only ones that are going into next season knowing they're going to be not brought not replaced kind of thing. It's just playing for your place now. I mean, if they pick up 8 out of 10 wins and fire us into the top 4, who knows? But look, there's a lot of games left. A lot of teams around us have got to play each other. We've got a big game Sunday, so let's see. I mean, the big plus for us is Bowen's injured for West Ham. He's a killer. He's just really, really good. Romero has got to be careful now. He's picking up far too many yellows, and I love his passion. I love his aggression. I love how dominant he is, and no one likes to get on the wrong side of him. And he kind of like puts a fear into the opposition strikers. Obviously not Ronaldo on Saturday, but he's a phenomenon, isn't he? And he kind of dropped into pockets where Dyer couldn't get near him Saturday. So, look, going on the fullbacks, unsure. Going into the centre midfield, looking better, but then it might look better for one game, but we've still got 10 more games. We got to look better in them 10.
So hopefully West Ham win 1-0 tomorrow and take the extra time, and then they lose an extra time, and hopefully on Sunday they'll be a bit knackered. But as you discussed earlier, Son, would you start him against West Ham?
Yep, I would start him. I'd start him purely because West Ham are quite slow at the back. But then I'm unsure. I mean, if you think about it, I think that we won 2-1 in the Cup against West Ham, and we knocked them out the League Cup. And Son looked good that night. So I think, I don't know, Son likes playing against West Ham. I mean, maybe not at their place, but he does score quite a few goals against them. I remember Mourinho's first game, he scored. I remember the goal he scored at Wembley, the screamer. I remember when we were 3-0 up, he scored. He does score against West Ham. I know we struggled at their place. We struggled there this season, but we had the better of the second half there, and obviously they won 1-0. But look, I just think that you've got to stick with your best 11 on paper going into these games. It's going to be hard to pick players on form because they're so in and out of form. So you just got to go with them. I am concerned with it. I am concerned whether he's just burnt out, whether he's just hit a little bit of form. Everyone goes through it. Look at Mane this season. Look, do you know what I mean?
Do you think it's going into his form? Like, I know we've probably since Conte's come in, he's probably not had the best games.
Yeah,
but his numbers are still good.
Yeah, that's the point.
So
I mean,
yeah. So do you think? Yeah. Do you think it's more down to actually the formation that he's finding hard to adjust to? Because now, obviously, Reguilon or Sessegnon is now playing behind him, where before he kind of had the left side to himself.
Yeah.
Do you think that's probably where the problems lie at the moment? And also, to add to that question,
I kind of think, personally, I think he's kind of like starved, and every time he gets, like, not starved, but he shares. Kulu gets on the ball quite a lot because technically, with the ball at his feet, he's probably like the better player we have to beat a player, get the ball in the box type at the minute. So what I think it is as the ball's more going out more towards the right, Son has to be effective whenever he gets the ball. Now, I think whenever in our old formation, it was kind of Kane and Son more as a two, and then Lucas Moura doing all the dirty bits. But now Son has to do quite more of the defensive work. Kind of, he's being watched quite thoroughly because he's now not doing as much as he was when he had the ball, kind of thing. Like, he's getting judged now on the little moments when he has the ball, and he ain't doing enough at the minute. So it's making him look like he's throwing a howler. But he's obviously still scoring goals. He's still knocking up assists. I kind of understand that. But at the end of the day, we're used to Son kind of Kane dropping deep, Son being the last man and the ball bombing in behind and Son scoring. But even when Son's going through on goal, he's just not looking clinical. I mean, against Everton, he could have had two before anyone even scored. In the FA Cup, I think that was the worst game I've probably ever seen him play. But look, big players win you big games, and Son has won us big games before. So I'm not mugging him off. I am concerned with his form at the minute, but at the end of the day, look, it's Tottenham. We kind of get too optimistic about things, but we've still got to realise that we're in a rebuild kind of process. We've got Conte now. So it's not a quick fix. It never has been for any manager other than the start under Mourinho. But look, we need to kind of finish the season strongly. We need all of our players firing. I mean, if Son goes the next 3 or 4 games without scoring, I will be even more concerned. But look, he still scored against Everton. He still got an assist against Everton. I mean, tonight he didn't look. I think it was just an average performance from him. I think the standout tonight was probably Kane. Like, I just can't get bored watching the geezer. Do you know when he just dropped? Do you know what? Do you know how I kind of feel he's just at a level where no one else is? Do you know when he kind of dropped deep and he played them 2 balls to Reguilon, but he kind of hit them like Huddleston used to hit his passes, kind of like with that little fizz, and it's just like. He didn't even get them wrong. They were spot on in the path of Reguilon. Look, there's no way to describe the geezer. And the goal he scored, I know he missed the easy chance.
Do you think, going on Kane, let's just quickly go on Kane quickly. Would you say the first half he was very poor, but second half he suddenly took the game by the scruff of the neck and was a lot better?
I kind of think that
because he kept trying to roll the Brighton defenders and just kept getting tackled. He kept giving the ball away, which is unlike Kane. But in the second half, it seemed to open up for him a little bit more because I think Brighton had to attack.
Yeah. So I kind of think that obviously with the goal he should have scored. With the chance he should have scored in the first half. But the thing is with Kane, even when Kane drops deep, he'll draw defenders out. So obviously that Shane Duffy, he's like really slow. So if he pulled him out, if someone got him behind, Duffy's running in custard. Do you know what I mean? So Kane's kind of clever. I know he kept giving the ball away, and I know he kept getting tackled. And I know the first half it was a scrappy goal we scored. We weren't 1-0 up for a deflection from Romero. Romero loves this at the minute. I'll tell you what, if you actually watch Romero, He actually stands up front more than he does at centre back. Honestly, watch him. I thought this against Burnley away. I thought, what's he doing? It must be a thing that Conte likes doing.
I think him and Davis, I think they both do it, and I think a lot of people are starting to see that. If you see Davis as well, I think he does it a lot, but obviously he's not as good as Romero doing it because he can't get back as quick. But actually, I've noticed it in the last few games that they've both been doing it, so they kind of become an extra forward without actually being a forward.
Yeah, but what I think that does, I think that encourages. So, like, do you know how it frustrates me watching Spurs, because sometimes when we get the ball in good areas, we don't cross the ball in. But I think Conte kind of like will push like a Romero, someone who's decent in the air forward, to kind of encourage him to get the ball in the box. Because sometimes we get the ball in the box in good areas and no one's there. So I don't know whether Conte is trying to like kind of counterbalance it to where he's sending someone up there, an extra man in the box. Obviously, when Kane drops deep, Son and Kulu don't like getting in them positions. So I don't know whether it's something to do with that. Kane dropping deep, Romero bombing. I don't know. But at the minute, sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. But I mean, look, phenomenon in Kane. He's obviously broken another record tonight. I know people will say, "Oh my God, another trophy for Spurs," but obviously you can't talk about individuals when it comes to club achievement. So we're lucky to see Kane put on a Tottenham shirt every time he does. Tonight, in the second half, and the things he did stand out more than probably what anyone else did tonight. But yeah, I think it was a comfy night for us. I think we played 6 out of 10, got the 3 points. Brighton can be a bogey team, but they're in a poor run of form, and we've kind of caught them at the right time. Maybe if the game went ahead when it should have, we might have found a bit more of a problem when they were on fire.
Yeah, so agreed. Yeah.
So look, but then again, we might have gone to Burnley and got the 3 points there when it snowed.
So it was. I think Burnley. I probably think when if we'd have played them when that game was cancelled, they were terrible. So we'd have probably won that.
And they had 5 injuries and all that. Yeah. So look, at the end of the day, we got the 3 points. Relatively happy. Nothing much to scream about, but yeah, a few good things tonight. Yeah, a few good things tonight. Obviously, the clean sheet was important after conceding so much. And I
don't think they had a shot on target either.
No, they had about. I think they had like 16 shots.
No on target.
Lloris had slippers and a cigar on in the second half. I didn't really think that he was really that bothered by their attacks because they were so useless going forward. I think in the second half, we defensively sat back a little bit, and obviously we caught them on the counter-attack for the second goal. Obviously, it's a great finish by Kane. He's just some of his goals are just unreal. But yeah, as I say, there's not much to really kind of get happy about, because we get all happy tonight and then go lose 2-0 on West Ham on Sunday. So we kind of got to go game by game. As I say, 6 out of 10, took 3 points, clean sheet, 2-0. Arsenal lost, happy days.
Good. And I probably should know the answer already, but am I taking your man of the match tonight is going to be Harry Kane, or are you going for Romero?
I actually went for Romero. I voted Romero because he kind of rattled all of Brighton. He kind of rattled it.
And if you look at the 90 minutes, he probably was the better player, but actually what came down in the second half made up for the first 45 minutes. So I kind of get it.
Kane's goal, Kane's achievement, fantastic, brilliant finish.
Brilliant.
Won us the game, because obviously if it was 1-0, it might have been a different story.
Yeah.
But like the little things that Romero did, like the little slip balls in behind for Son and stuff, like from a centre back, that takes a lot of kind of to get in them areas and trust yourself, trust your ability, being good in tight areas. Not like, do you know, when Brighton kept giving the ball back to their keeper, Romero had the chance to, but he found the pass inside the Bentancur. He's just a superb player, and I know he's a bit of a shit house, as you call it, like a Rudiger. You love him when he's got your colours on, but you hate him if you're playing against him. So happy days, 3 points, Romero man of the match to me. And we go on to Sunday.
And just a quick question, because you mentioned Romero. If Spurs went and signed a goalkeeper and another 2 centre-backs, 2 as strong as Romero, but didn't really strengthen anywhere else, would you be happy?
probably maybe because I'm fed up of conceding goals from set pieces. We concede far too much. The organisation of the back four or back five, whatever we choose to play, back three, will probably be a little bit better, maybe. But I think the spine of our team's pretty solid. I just think that we lack quality against bigger teams because they either match our quality or have got better players.
Well, that was my question. That was more to my question because you look at tonight where Brighton have got nothing, and Romero was shining, but you look at when Dyer and Ben Davies played okay, they did all right, but then I look at Saturday where Romero out of the three of them was probably the better player.
Yeah,
but he had two weak players next to him.
I'm Eric Dyer's biggest fan this season. He gets in the England World Cup squad. I've said it before. One of the first ones we've done. Yeah. I just think he's a lot better than Connor Cody. I think he's a lot better than Tyrone Mings. I just do. I think he's quietly had an okay season, a lot better than what people think, but a lot worse because we conceded so many goals.
I think for me, and my personal opinion on it, is I think Saturday proved that that's why. And I know people look at Harry, but Harry Maguire didn't play that bad. Like if you see what Kane actually did on Saturday, we went, it was an own goal which he scored, and then it was a set piece, a penalty. So, but then I look at Eric Dyer, who's allowed the first goal. You just look at him and go,
"Yeah, could have got closer."
You don't allow Ronaldo that amount of room.
Yeah,
and I think he was showing up. I think he was showing up on Saturday.
And I think, maybe so.
And that's my only issue with him. That because he's not. This is the first time he had to mark somebody, and he kind of let himself down like he normally does when he's in a two. And that's my only worry. But has he improved this season? Totally agree with you. He has. He's been good under Nuno, and he's been good under Conte. But is it because we haven't got the squad to why he's been good? And also, as I found out this week, and I didn't even know this, he has taken up a foreign player's space. He doesn't count as homegrown. Would there be better players out there who are overseas that probably you could take over?
As I say, I don't know how we don't know the influence he has around the dressing room, around the club. We don't know anything else he brings off the football pitch. He seems like quite a humble bloke. He don't get into trouble. Obviously he does when he climbs through the stands and tries to fight people, but that's obviously understandable. But outside of football, you can judge players on what they do outside the game. He seems to be quite a charitable person. He runs that spotless business where he obviously creates for the community, for the restaurants and stuff. So he seems like a nice bloke. He might not count as homegrown, obviously, because he was born in Portugal and stuff. But look, at the end of the day, I trust Conte, and I trust people who get paid to judge players. Yeah. I trust that. So obviously, I can sit here and slate players. I'm quite open on Twitter about my hate for Bruno Fernandes. He's a fantastic player.
We don't talk about Bruno.
No, that's it. But what I'm trying to say is people get paid to judge these players day in, day out. And people on Twitter, people on Instagram, people who haven't done anything in their life in football can judge these players, but I trust the judgment of the people who run our football club. So we just got to wait.
And that's going to be your headline tonight. I trust Conte. Marc, thank you for your time. And as always, everybody, please like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter. And follow us on Instagram. And as we always finish on, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. See you Sunday. See you later, mate.
See you later, mate.